Okay, so I just turned 50 and I was in for a rude awakening, right? So I know I am an accountant and I'm supposed to be all up on my finances, etc. And I am to a certain extent. But when I turned 50, I was like, oh, I only have about 15 more years before I can retire. So I better start getting my things in order right now. So I decided to make this video because I wanted to talk to you also, just in case you're in the same boat as me, about what the things that you need to put in place or what you need to get in order before or by the time you are 50, so you can make sure that you're prepared for retirement, you're preparing yourself for the future, and you're getting everything all together, ducks in a row. So the first thing that you need to make sure that you do is have an emergency fund. Now, I know that I've always talked about an emergency fund. I talked about that multiple times on this channel, but it is very important that you take this seriously. Just in case something happens, you never know what's going to happen. Anything in your home, something to your car, whatever, you need to have an emergency fund and you need to be able to make it liquid. And when I mean liquid, I mean you're able to get it easily. So you don't want to have it tied up in stocks and bonds. You can have it in a CD, but you still have to request to close it out or whatever have you. So I would suggest putting all of your money in a high yield interest savings account. And in that savings account, you're going to keep that money in there and not touch it because it's for an emergency. So you don't want to go in there and, oh, let me get $20 out, that kind of thing. You want to make sure that you're making it as high as possible because you want to get at least 6 to 12 months worth of your living expenses. Now, the second thing you need to do is lower your debt. And I have a few videos on this channel talking about lowering your debt, paying off credit cards, paying down loans, all of those things. So, of course, you're going to still have some debt. You're going to have your mortgage. You may also still have your car payment. I urge you to try to pay that off, though, in these next 15 years. Try to pay that off. Or by the time you're 50, try to get that as low as possible. You're going to have certain loans. Maybe you still have a student loan that you're paying on, those type of things. So the debt that I'm referring to that you can try to reduce or get rid of is credit card debt. Credit card debt is going to keep you in that loophole. And I know that everybody says, oh, you need to have credit cards to build up your credit. And sometimes that's not necessary. So I've also have a few videos on here about different ways to build your credit that are not related to having credit cards. One of them is Kickoff. I will put a link to that video in the description box because you don't have to necessarily have a credit card in order to build up your credit. So it's important that you start lowering your credit debt and getting those credit cards paid off. You can keep them and have them paid down, but still open. Don't close them, but reduce the debt on it so that you're not sitting here paying all of that interest. And then a lot of credit cards have annual fees. They have interest. They have monthly fees. They have all these fees. And you're sitting here like, why am I always paying? Well, because you have all this credit card debt. So get rid of that. The third thing you need to have is an estate plan. Now, I know you're probably saying, an estate? I only have a house. I don't have to. It's important that you have all of your things set up. So just in case you pass away, you have everything in order how you want things to go. So that includes your having a will, having possibly a trust, also having your beneficiaries on your accounts. Also making sure that if they're like, say you pass away and you have younger children, you have someone in line to take care of your younger children. If you're put in the hospital and you can't speak for yourself, who's going to speak for you? You need to have all of that written out and have a plan for all of that and get that together as soon as possible. Again, I have a video on here that's talking about that. I will link to that video in the description box as well, because setting up an estate plan is going to be beneficial for you and for your family so that they are set up for the future. Now, the fourth thing that you need to do is make sure that you have some type of life insurance. It could be through your employer. It could be something that you paid for personally yourself, but you need to make sure that you have life insurance set up. Now, it could be a 20 to 30-year term or some other type, but you need to know exactly what it is that you have. Make sure it's working for you. Look at all of the terms. Look at also the beneficiaries. Make sure you change beneficiaries. If you got remarried to someone else or you got divorced, make sure those names are changed on there so that you have all of that together. The fifth thing that you need to do is get to the point where you have 7 times your annual income saved and invested. So, of course, you're going to work up to that. You might not be there right now, but say you make $100,000 a year. You need to make sure that you are working towards having $700,000 saved up and invested by the time you retire so that you can live a carefree life. Number 6, you need to make sure that you have a financial plan, a retirement plan, a tax plan. You have everything planned out how you want things to go. So when I talked about looking at how you want to live when you're retired, it's important that when you figure out, okay, this is how I want to live, this is how much money I need to live for day to day, from month to month, then you need to make a plan to get there. So you might change your tax strategies and your tax planning. You might make a change to your investment. So as you get older, your investments should shift to be more less risk and more of a return. And so you want to make sure that you are looking at all of those, maybe talking to a financial advisor, and just making sure that you log into all of your accounts and making sure that they're working the way you want them to, bringing money into your account so that you are setting yourself up for a positive retirement time. And number 7, speaking of retirement, increase your retirement contributions. So if you work a 9-to-5 job and you guys have a 401k available, your company has a retirement plan, and all of the things that you can max out on, then go ahead and do that, because the older you get, the higher the max contribution level has raised. And so as you get older, you want to start maxing that out. So you want to increase it. And the benefit for you is, I know it sounds like it's going to be hard. It's going to be like there's money taken out of your account and there's less money coming into you or into your, into your household. But if you make a plan and you work it out to be beneficial to you, when that money is going over there, that's going to in turn lower your tax liability. So basically, say you make $100,000 a year, and you are contributing $5,000 a year to your retirement. That means it's reduced your income down to $95,000. And then that in turn reduces how much you owe in taxes, because now you don't owe taxes on the $100,000 anymore. You owe taxes on the $95,000. So basically, it is going to benefit you to maximize your contributions to your retirement and your 401k and everything in the long run. But at the moment when you're getting those paychecks, you just got to put it in your brain like, okay, I have to make some changes to the way I'm living in order for me to live a good, carefree, comfortable life in my retirement. So I might have to make some changes now so that I can do that for the future. Now, number 8 is a little bit harder for some people because not everybody wants to be a business owner or wants to be, controlling real estate, etc. But you need to get some assets that are bringing in money to your household. Those assets can be real estate. It can be a business of sorts, like a laundromat, or you can maybe, if you own it and you source it out, you have virtual assistants working for you, and not necessarily you doing the work, but you just have them working for you. Or you just look up different ways to have assets that are going to bring money into your household as opposed to taking money from your household. I'll list a couple of videos in the description box that can give you some ideas of what you can be doing to bring more money into your household. But it's important because you don't want to sit and have liabilities, so things that are taking money from your home, from your household, out of your income, and then not have anything putting money back into your income besides a job. A job is not going to help you get to where you want to get to in retirement. Sometimes it can, but these days, there's no pensions anymore, really, depending on where you work. Sometimes people don't even have a 401k option or a retirement option available. They're just working for a paycheck every day. Some people don't even have medical coverage, you guys. Some people don't even have that. So, sometimes you need to think like, okay, how can I get more money coming into my household without me doing a lot of work, but it's an asset to me and not a liability. Now, number 9 is all about finding out what your Social Security amount will be. So you need to log into the Social Security Administration's website and go in there and see what you could possibly get every month once you retire. This is going to help you make your plan that I was talking about, because if you see, okay, by the time I turn 65, I'm gonna get $2,000 a month. All right. And if I need $5,000 a month to live, and I'll get $2,000 a month from Social Security, now I need to come up with $3,000 a month extra in order for me to live a comfortable life. So that's how using these different tools is going to benefit you, because then you can start making a real plan for your life and saying, okay, these are the things that I need to do. Now, if I need $3,000 extra, now what am I going to do a month? Okay, so $3,000 extra a month is how much per day, right? So say if it's 30 days in a month, per day, that's $100 a day. So now where are you going to get $100 a day per month? Where are you going to get $100 a day to add to your income? So those are things that you need to think about. You could sell digital products. You could do Uber driving on the side. I don't know what you're going to do, but you got to make a plan, and you have to set things up that's going to help you get to your ultimate goal of living a comfortable life in retirement. And number 10, the last one, is the most important in my book. And that is that you know who you are outside of your job. So you have to start thinking about, what am I going to do once I am not working anymore? Who am I? What do I like to do? What are my hobbies? What are the things that I'm interested in besides going to work every day, being a dad, being a mom, being a husband, being a wife? What other things interest me besides those things? So once you figure that out, that's going to help you live a positive and fun-filled and comfortable retirement life, so that once you get into retirement, you're not bored, you're not depressed, you're not feeling sad or trying to figure out life. You've already put things in place to help you. Get a hobby, get a side, like I said, a side hustle, start a business, start traveling. Something has to make you happy, whatever that is. Whatever makes you happy, that's the thing that you need to do. Me personally, I honestly like making money and helping other people make money in different ways. Not necessarily starting a business or working a second job or anything like that, but like, different things that are going to help them increase their income. So that's my love. That's my thing that I like to do on the side. So now you have to think about what you like to do. What's your hobby? What's your interest? And once you figure that out, then you'll be prepared, all prepared for retirement. So these 10 things are going to help you. I have put a link to everything that I talked about in the description box. I also have a retirement planning guide that I have put together. I will link that in the description box as well. If you have any questions or any concerns or any video suggestions, go ahead and leave those in the comments. I always look at my comments. I always respond. And I thank you so much for your time. Have a good one. Bye.